Hello, my name is Joe Griffith. I'm a local artist here in Tampa, and welcome to the workspace here where I have some of my pieces on display. Most of the interesting events in Florida, believe it or not, have been, and more Tampa specific, is the night parade. Along with the Gasparilla event, but I loved the night parade when I was a kid growing up. And that has some influence, I think, in sending me on a creative track, because I was always interested in the floats and how they made them and fabrication, and so in other words, all those things kind of emerged from that, I think. And it just so happened that when my grandmother passed recently, we got a hold of her old film, which my grandfather took, and there's this beautiful footage of the old night parade, probably in the 40s or something like that. I looked at, and it just like, well, it was before my time, but it still had that real magical night, all the lights, all the design. It's beautiful. Which regional artists do I follow and have inspired me? Johnny Mia. He is a living artist, but he is also one of the only surviving carnival banner painters. And he resides, I believe, still in Safety Harbor, which is close to Tampa. And since I met him like 20 years ago, he was always like this old guy, that just knew everything about this painting style and everything about the carnival. We had him over many times to our home and studio, and he would tell us the stories about his life, and I love his style. I love the fact that he's like one of the only ones left that does it, and just all around like super. I mean, he's a performance artist in my opinion too. He's like a painter and a performance artist, because when you see him when you go to one of his openings, he puts a nail in his nose, he does the human blockhead for everybody that's there, and just so you can't be in his presence and not be entertained. It's just incredible. So I recommend many places in Florida. I'm going to answer 3 places maybe, there's so many of them, I can't just think of one. The first one is called Solomon's Castle. It's in Central Florida. It's basically a one-man made structure made out of all this kind of junk and detritus that Solomon put together, and it's just like this feat to me, making a destination, where people come visit it all the time. The other one's a similar one. It's near Miami. It's called the Coral Castle, and it's an older structure with the same kind of history. It was made by one person, and it's also made in a way that's real mysterious, because nobody really knew how the guy lifted all these big blocks, and so there's a mystery around it. And like a lot of times you see, like, in search of, like, how did he do it? Is he anti-gravity? All that kind of stuff. But you go there, and then it's like you look around at his materials and his tools, which are also on display. They're on display also. It's like no surprise at that point, because he's using he's using just mechanics to get these things up, tripods and et cetera, et cetera. The third location I think that is really interesting in Florida is the Moat Marine Lab, which is a great inspiration to me, and it's in Sarasota County, I believe. And that comes from basically having an interest as a child all the way to my adulthood in marine animals. Went to SeaWorld, a fourth location that is really interesting when I was a kid even, and got this event happen, which was a kiss from an orca when I was real young. And so those kind of things kind of roll into my interest as an artist, because I really am interested in organic shapes and just biological things in nature.